Shall we have a serious conversation about personal loans from a big national bank? I think we should, right? So in today's conversation, I want to talk to you about personal loans from a big national bank. 5 proven ways to always get the loan amount that you need and deserve. Don't you go anywhere. You're going to love today's conversation. Edition of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous if you're to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to talk to you about personal loan from a big national bank. 5 ways to always get the loan you need and deserve. The first thing I want you to really think about if you want to get a loan from a big national bank is to think about employment. Very important. Employment is you need to actually verify employment. And when we talk about getting a loan from a big national bank, you have several ways to actually verify employment. If you have, let's say, a regular job at 9 to 5, and you have a pay stub or you have a 1099, you can actually go to the bank and just show them that. That's very important. Okay, and it's a lot easier, so they don't have it, because when you have a W-2 or you have a pay stub, you verify not only your job, but you verify your salary, and in some cases you can verify your work history, because on some pay stubs they tell you when you started working at the company. Now, if the bank wants to verify your work history, you can go to the HR department and they will actually send them the letter that verifies your job history. In some cases, they might also want to verify your position, whether you are a manager, assistant manager, or whatnot. In some cases, that matters, depending on the loan amount that you seek, right? Let's say if you're applying for $10,000 or you want a $50,000, your position really matters, and the bank might want to verify that. And in some cases, let's say if you are a self-employed individual, there are other ways to actually verify your, let's say, your income. You can have a profit and loss statement from your accounting software. You can have your 1099. You can show your business tax returns or your personal tax returns for the last 2 years or 3 years. Okay, because as a self-employed, you can elect to be taxed as let's say you have an LLC. You're a single member LLC. You can be taxed as a partnership. You can be taxed as a corporation, as an S corp, as a C corp, or as what the IRS calls a disregarded entity. The bottom line is your tax returns will tell the bank how much you're making. Okay, so it's important to respond to an employment verification request. Okay, do not refuse it. Don't drag your feet. Don't try to play games with the bank. No, you want to be forthcoming. Okay, and you want to get them the paperwork they need as fast as possible. So that's one way to always get the loan you need and deserve. Be prompt when responding to employment verification request from the bank. The second way to actually always get the loan amount that you need and deserve is to actually demonstrate that you have cash flows. It's important when we talk about cash flows, we are speaking about cash inflows and cash outflows, okay? And the bottom line is, first of all, you can demonstrate cash flows through employment, through your pay stubs, through your 1099s, through your dividend income, through your 1099 DIV, through a bunch of things. Let's say you have a business and you have cash coming in, okay? You can even demonstrate cash flows by showing the bank statements from other banks or bank statements from this very bank. Now, if you are already a customer of the bank, they don't need to have a bank statement from you because they already have the data, right? But the bottom line is you can show cash inflows through bank statements, through your tax returns, through your employment documentation, your pay stubs, 1099, all that kind of stuff. If you have, let's say you have investment income, boss, I'm talking to you right now because a lot of y'all have investment income and you have paper coming in every quarter. It's also a great opportunity. You just want to show them the broker statement. You want to show the banks the broker statements. Okay, that tells them, hey, listen, I have a lot of cash, or I have some ka-ching coming every quarter. So, you basically are explaining to them that you have a strong financial position. Okay, if you have a business income, also business income that actually pays some good cash at the end of the year, you can also show your 1065, your Form 1065, or your Form 1120S or 1120C that actually shows the business income. And if you want the bank to actually consider your household income, this could be a great opportunity also. In other words, let's say you have a co-signer or you have a co-applicant. your wife or your husband, for instance, or other members of your household, you just want to show the bank that overall your cash flows are positive, right? It's all about showing as much money as possible. Obviously, if you are looking for a personal loan, your cash position is not that great, but it shouldn't be really worse too, though. I mean, there has to be potential, because the bank ain't lending to your ass if they realize that chances are you're not going to pay them back, right? It's all about risk mitigation. Okay, boss. So also think about your current net worth. I'm talking about actually your assets, your total assets minus your total liabilities. What is the number? What is the final number? Positive number? Negative number? Let's talk about that. Let us talk about that. So if you have a negative number, negative net worth, you can't qualify right now. See, we hear a lot of people saying, hey, I have a FICO score of 725 or 750. Why is my ass being rejected? Well, because a FICO score is not the only criterion the banks look at when underwriting your loan. They pay attention to your income, pay attention to your net worth, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so money, 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 money. At the end of the day, you want to show the banks that you have strong cash flows if you want to boost your chances of getting the loan that you need and deserve. The third proven way to always get the loan you need and deserve is to cultivate a strong relationship with the bank. Obviously, when we talk about a big national bank, the starting point should always be the bank itself. What I'm trying to say here is that do not have a relationship with Bank of America and trying to get a loan from Wells Fargo or get a loan from Truist. I'm not saying it's not possible, but I'm saying it's a lot harder. And even if you get it, let's say you have a perfect credit score, even if you get a loan from them, you're going to get the loan at a higher interest rate, because banks they're very smart. They want to keep their relationship with them. They want to keep the money with them. They want to make the profit on you. And that makes sense. It has to be a win-win situation. So why are you with Wells Fargo and you're trying to get a loan from Chase? I mean, Chase doesn't give a personal loan anyway as of right now, but what I'm trying to say is you are with PNC and you're trying to get a loan from US Bank. If you have a relationship with US Bank, then yes, go ahead. In other words, you can have a relationship with multiple banks and actually borrow from each bank. But what I'm trying to say is you always want to start with the bank where you have the strongest relationship. In other words, we have the largest deposits. When we talk about having a relationship with banks, we are speaking about checking accounts. We are speaking about savings accounts. And we want to pay attention to the diversity of accounts that you have. The diversity of accounts, but also the quantity of money, the deposit balances. It's important. So diversity means what? It means how many accounts do you have? Do you have MMAs? Do you have MMAs stands for money market accounts? Do you have certificates of deposits? Do you have checking accounts? Do you have savings account? Talk to me about what you have, boss. That's what I mean by diversity of accounts. And then we talk about your balances. How much money do you have in those accounts? Do you have peanuts? Do you have $5 here, $5 here and there? Or do you have some serious cash? Okay, and you also have to think about your personal NPR versus your business NPR. In other words, your personal multi-product relationship and your business multi-product relationship. So when I speak about relationship in general, I have that duality in mind. Okay, it is a dual process. It can be personal and or business. And banks also pay attention to the length of relationship. How long have you been with them? Is it a new thing, or are you a new kid on the block, or you've been around for 20 years, or you've been around for 10 years? So big decision time. Which bank do you currently have the strongest relationship with? How long have you been with them? What kind of balances do you keep at those banks, at that bank or those banks? See, that's where you want to apply for a personal loan. The fourth element is your FICO score. Oh yeah. You're not going to skip that, right? I mean, uncle, the thing is that you need to understand that if you are looking for a loan from a bank, you need to pay attention to your FICO score. Okay, auntie, I'm talking to you right now. This is the kind of stuff you got to take seriously. You need to start actually monitor your credit score on a continual basis. I'm talking about every quarter, that's too long. Every week, every month, every 2 weeks. I really don't care how often you check your credit score, but I want you to actually incorporate checking your credit score into a financial habit. It must be automatic. And the cool thing is, you know what? You don't have to pay for it. There are a lot of ways you can check your credit score for free. And I'm not even, let's talk about the website called annualcreditreport.com that allows you to check your credit score for free. You also have other players that offer you free FICO scores. Okay, we're talking about Credit Karma. We're speaking about Wallet Hub. We're speaking about Nerd Wallet, and most credit card issuers also provide this service for free anyway. Okay, it's important. So when we talk about FICO score, because the bank is going to check your FICO score anyway, so you better really check it yourself first, so you know exactly what's in there before they check it. So when we talk about FICO scores, there are a lot of factors that affect your FICO scores, right? Everything from your payment history to your credit utilization, to the length of your credit history, to your credit mix, to your recent credit, all those things impact your credit score. So if you want to raise, let me give you a few tips if you want to raise your credit score and be seen favorably by the bank when you apply for a loan. Check your credit reports on a regular basis to track your progress. You want to sign up for free credit monitoring. Okay, you want to figure out how much money you owe. It's important. Your total debts, your total obligations. And you want to set up auto pay so you never forget to make a credit card payments. This is so important. Pay twice a month or 3 times, whatever you're comfortable with. Negotiate a lower interest rate if you can. And from time to time, you want to ask for a credit limit increase so that you can increase you can lower your credit utilization ratio and mix things up, okay, in terms of credit, okay? And or in some cases, you can just become an authorized user on someone else's account. In other words, let's say right now you don't qualify to have a card on your own, not a problem. You can start as an authorized user on someone else's account. And the fifth element, if you want to actually get the high loan amount that you need to explain why you need the money. It's called use of loan proceeds. Okay, don't just go to a bank and say, "Listen, I just need this money," and not tell them why you need the cash. You got to provide context. You got to contextualize the loan application. All right, and it's important to have to be clear in your mind why you need the money, because sometimes we apply for loans and we're not really clear about what the money will be for. So you just know you have a need. You know that cash is tight, and you have to plug whatever liquidity gaps that you currently have. You want to make ends meet. All right, brother? That's the term, right? You want to make ends meet. But the thing is, you want to make ends meet, but how much you need. So you got to identify why you need the money in the first place. So banks are more likely to approve you if you want to use the money for debt consolidation. If you want to use the loan, let's say, as an alternative to a payday loan. Let's say you have an emergency, but you don't want to pay the crazily high rates that payday loans offer. So you come to your bank and say, "Listen, I need a loan." That could be a reason. You can use the cash for home remodeling. In other words, you analyze your financial situation and realize that if you want to renovate your house, you will need some serious cash. You can also use the money for moving costs. Yeah, that happens. You can use the money for emergency expenses. Okay, this could be what? It could be a funeral, for instance. It could be a medical expense, for instance, right? You can also use the cash to purchase appliances. Those things happen. You can use the money for vehicle financing, for wedding expenses, for vacation cost. So you have let's say a variety of uses of loan proceeds. But the thing is that you have to be able to explain it to the bank, because banks have for compliance reasons, they need to explain to regulators why they're giving loans. In other words, they have something called AML, anti-money laundering. So they need to make sure that whatever cash they advance to someone, they are able to justify what the cash will be used for. So be very clear about how much you need, number one, and be very clear about why you need the money in the first place. Don't just walk around and just throw a number and not being able to back up why you need that amount. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere.
I know when he comes
Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweet Kiwi Show. I'm still having a conversation with you about personal loans from a big national bank. 5 ways to always get the loan you need and deserve. So I've given you the 5 ways. Now I want to have a general conversation about. I want to give you a few pro tips. Okay, there are situations where you don't want to use a personal loan. Okay, because you always have to think about why you need the loan, but the question is, can you get another credit product to take care of the need that you currently have? Okay, so when we talk about credit products, personal credit in general, we speak about 3 products. We speak about a personal loan, right? So we speak about personal loan, we speak about a personal line of credit, and we speak about a personal credit card. So those are the 3 credit products that an individual might need, right? Now, the thing you have to understand is that if you are looking to finance larger or unexpected expenses, a loan could be good. But if you want to have access to money on an ongoing basis, a personal credit card or a personal line of credit could be good. Depending on your credit situation, you might need to talk to your bank to see which product is better for you, right? Because a personal credit card, for instance, is you can use the plastic to buy stuff, but you can't get a cash advance from the card unless you are willing to pay 25% or 30% or whatnot on that balance. But a line of credit is pure cash. The bank will actually give you access to a certain amount of cash. You have to repay it as you go or at the end. So it really depends on your financial situation, and it depends on your credit score also. And one thing you need to understand is that when we talk about getting a personal loan from a bank, there's a clear way to get that. Make sure you have your paperwork ready. Make sure that you fill out the application. Okay, and this applies also to getting a personal loan at a credit union. Okay, and fill out the application, but it's always better to actually do things at the branch. You want to provide a personal information. You want to provide income verification documents. Okay, and remember that you'll get a hard inquiry though. You have a hard pull, but just be mentally prepared for that. Okay, and you also want to have. So if they ask you any additional information, if they place another request for info, please be responsive. You want to be as fast as possible to not ghost the bank or credit union when they ask you for extra information. And before we close today's conversation, I want to talk to you about what to do if your loan is denied. So you've tried everything, right? You were just being very diligent. You provided all the info that they requested, and for some reason your ass got denied. Well, don't panic. Again, we have said this before. Do not panic. It's important to understand why your loan was denied in the first place. Okay, and there are 2 quintessential factors that lead lenders to deny loan applications. So you have problems with credit and problems with income. So those are the 2 things. And because sometimes we hear comments from our viewers and they say, well, I have a 725 credit score, but I keep getting a tiny loan amount, or I keep getting a tiny limit on my credit card because your income is not good, boss. Yeah, your income must be high. Okay, and in some cases, when we talk about credit history, a lot of things can actually ding your credit score. Everything from bankruptcy to foreclosure to collection accounts to delinquent payments to high credit card balances, aka high credit utilization ratio, to too many recent credit inquiries, to not enough credit history. I mean, you have a lot of stuff that actually could result in a denial. Okay, but the thing is, the bank will let you know why they denied you. So you'll have a written decision, and you can see. Okay, and in some cases, if your DTI is too high, also you could be denied. Your debt to income ratio. So this is important. And your DTI and your CUR, your credit utilization ratio, and your debt to income ratio, you want to keep the percentages around 30 to 35%. That's the sweet spot. Okay. But there could be other reasons for denial. Well, for instance, you might have some cash flow or liquidity problems. You are finding harder to get a job or to maintain a job. This could be a problem also, okay? Because we spoke about income being an issue. Yes, the bank is not going to approve you if your job situation is shaky, okay? Remember that getting denied does not hurt your credit score. No. The thing is that you are going to lose 5 points or 10 points when you get a hard pull, but the denial itself does not hurt your credit score. And so it is possible to get a loan when you have bad credit. Not a problem. We have covered on this show many bad credit loans. Okay, not a problem. And the whole thing is that in some cases, it's just better to build your credit before applying again. In other words, do not rush things. Take your time. Take a step back and regroup before you apply. Okay, and while you regroup, make your monthly payments on time. Keep your credit card balances low. Avoid too many hard inquiries. Check your credit reports. Okay, very important. Thank you so much for your attention, boss. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was talking to you about personal loan from a big national bank, 5 proven ways to always get the loan you need and deserve. Number 1, think about employment. Number 2, your cash flows. Number 3, the relationship. Number 4, your FICO score. And number 5, the loan proceeds. And I give you a few pro tips to kind of end the conversation. Thank you so much for your attention. Really appreciate it. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.